Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about airport security. Anna, welcome to class.
Thank you, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing really well, ready for a new day. For me, it's the morning. What time is it for you, Anna?
Well, it's 6 p.m.
Wow. The opposite for you. So your day's just finishing.
Yes, more or less, more or less.
All right. And Mohammed, welcome to class.
Welcome.
I had you in class yesterday, right, Mohammed?
Yes,
Awesome. It's good to have you back. And what time is it where you are, Mohammed?
it's 8 o'clock.
8 p.m.?
Yes, p.m.
Wow. All right. Cool. Well, let's get started. The notes are attached to the class, so if you are on the class page, there should be a link for the notes below. But if not, I'm going to screen share as well. If it lets me. We'll see. Here we go. All right. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
And Diego, welcome to class.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Diego?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Excellent. Doing really well myself. So let's get started and just talk a little bit about what springs to mind when you hear the word airport security. Mohammed, what do you think of when you hear airport security?
I think in safety.
All right, yeah.
Yes. And I think in new technologies in the airport.
Good one. Excellent. Diego, what do you think of when you think of airport security?
I think that is the protocols about the safety uh, with the with the people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Protocols.
yes, protocols of safety protocols.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Anna, any ideas? What do you think of when you think of airport security?
Well, I think that they have more security about all passengers that probably could pass any strange thing. Or, for example, drugs, bombs, or
Mm-hmm.
other dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So I made a little list of all the things you guys said: safety, protocols, technology, passengers, drugs, bombs, and danger. All right. So below we have a little activity. It says, which of the security checks below would you like to see introduced at airports? Rate each item from 10, this is essential, to 1, how ridiculous. Change partners and share your ideas. So I want to know what you guys think of all of these 8 different things and how important they are for airport security. The list is metal detectors, 3D body scanners, sniffer dogs, strip searches, questioning by officials, content search of baggage, video interviews, and body patting searches. Do you guys have questions about what any of those things are before you give me your ideas on them?
Sorry, I was reading the items. Can you repeat, please?
Do you guys have questions on what these items are before we talk and give our ideas on these different things?
Yes, yes, more or less. I think I understand. Maybe strip searches. I
You
don't
think
know
you understand, but you
exactly.
don't know exactly. All right. Does anyone else know what a strip search is?
When
Okay.
you
Oh,
when
go ahead.
When they ask you to take off your clothes?
Yeah, exactly. They ask you to take off your clothes so that they can verify that you're not hiding anything underneath your clothes. And welcome to class, Nader. Thanks for
Hi,
giving
how
us
are you?
that answer. Any other questions on these items before we talk about how necessary they are? Okay. Then let's start with Mohammed. Can you tell us which of these do you think are the most important for airport security and which are not very important or not necessary at all?
Important thing,
Uh-huh.
metal detectors, I think.
So that's the most important thing?
Yes,
What else is very important from this list?
it's not important.
Okay.
Sniffer dogs.
So why are sniffer dogs not important?
I think sniffer dogs for drugs or something like that.
So you think they're not as important as some of the other things here?
Yes, because I want to be safe in airport.
Yeah,
Drugs not
definitely.
important.
All right. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Nader, give us your ideas. What are the most important items from this list and the least important?
I would say the most important ones are metal detectors and contents search of baggage.
Okay. And why
These
are
are
those important?
because with these technologies you can protect the passengers at least. Sniffer dogs are, as Mohammed said, it's important for the safety of the country, not the airplane.
All right, so those are less important.
Yes, and what I see as not important at all, strip searches and body padding searches, 3D body scanners. These are
Not important.
these are not important and can be misused by officials.
Ooh, interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. Thanks, Nader, for your insight. Diego, what do you think are the most important items for airport security here?
I think metal detectors and content search of baggage and the last sniffer dogs.
And that's the least important is sniffer dogs?
Yes, it's the LEDs.
All right, so give us your explanation for why metal detectors are very important and sniffer dogs are not very important.
Okay, you know, in the airports, it's um it's not usually to to have metals, for example, a knife
A
and
knife?
a knife, yes, and what else matters? And in the content source of baggage and depends of the country. Some people in the baggage introduce uh, uh, what else components, for example, drugs or any bomb. And
All right.
and I think sniffer dogs uh, com complement the search about of the airport security.
Okay. Thanks for your thoughts, Diego. And Howard, welcome to class. Howard, are you there? I can't hear you, Howard, which means you might have a microphone problem. If you need any help, let me know in the chat box. And And in the meantime, Anna, will you tell us which of these items you think are the most important and which are the least important?
Well, I think that the most important would be metal detectors, for example, 3D body scanners. The less important could be questioning by officials because in the video interviews could include this questioning.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Anna. Any other thoughts before we move on and read an article about a new body scanner? Okay, so we're going to read a little bit about a new body scanner, some of the pros and the cons of it, and then discuss a little bit. So the first section in green, let's have Nader read that section for us.
New body scanners, see-through clothes. Travelers at 2 U.S. airports will soon be searched by new high-tech scanners. International airports in Los Angeles and New York have installed digital body scanners that can see through clothing. The new machines will mainly search for weapons and explosives. They use the very latest technology called millimeter wave imaging.
Thank you very much. Any questions on the vocabulary in that section?
No.
Awesome. Then Mohammed, will you read the purplish blue section?
Okay. Radio waves create a 3D image of someone's body to see if they are concealing or
Concealing.
anything, concealing anything dangerous. Government officials say the new equipment will make air travel safer. A spokesperson said, imaging the device are not a brand new security tool, but they are brand new security tool for airports.
Excellent, thank you. So let's talk about a couple vocabulary words from that section. Can someone give me a definition for the word conceal?
A synonym?
Yeah, a synonym works great.
Hiding?
Yeah, hiding would be a good synonym for the word concealing. And what about a spokesperson? What is a spokesperson? Can anyone explain that?
The one who represents the one who speaks on behalf of an authority or a company or whatever.
Exactly. Thanks.
Representative.
Awesome. Great definition. Howard, are you there? Okay. Then Diego, will you read the black section for us?
Sure. There are plans to install the device in another 30 airports across the country. An official promises that passengers will prefer the scanner to a security guard painting their body.
Thank you very much, Diego. And Anna, will you read the red section?
Yes, the new technology has raised questions by privacy groups who believe the scanning process is too detailed. They say the device can see too much of the naked body. A civil liberties spokesman said it was the same as a virtual strip search. He warned, we need to make sure there are good safeguards. The temptation is great, not I can see anymore.
Okay, the red section, well, let's see. The red section is over, so let's have someone else read this last section and we'll just lump it all together. Back to you, Nader. Can you read this for us?
Yes, the temptation is great not to follow procedures when a celebrity or someone well-known is involved. One female passenger at LA airport suggested that only female operators should be allowed to scan female passengers. She said she was highly embarrassed to see a male official looking at the digital image of her body. She was also worried the scanned image could end up on the internet. It seems it's only a matter of time, however, before the machines replace metal detectors.
All right, thanks, Anna. So after reading all of that, do you guys have any questions on vocabulary? Any words you weren't quite sure the meaning of? Then let's summarize what we read. Starting with Mohammed, can you give us one idea that was talked about in this article?
One minute. Sorry, please repeat it again.
Yeah, so we're going to summarize this article. I'd like you to give us one idea that was discussed in one of the sections here. The green section, the purple section, the black section, the red section, the brown or the blue section. Just kind of summarize what we heard.
Summarize, I think it's talking about new technology was installed in the in airport safety section. The department.
Exactly. And Diego, can you add anything to that summary? He said they talked about new technology for the airports. What else did we hear about in this article?
For example, in the new technology about the digital body scanners, I think it's very important because, for example, the women, when she has I don't remember how you say. It's pregnant, yes. It not affect the baby because it's not use radio frequency, and it's monitoring on only the body. It's not introduce this radio frequency introduced in the body. I think this is the most important, this technology about that. And sometimes the can be scanned the objects when it's in your back, for example.
All right, great. And we're going to get to some more opinions in a second. Howard, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. It worked. So, can you give us a couple thoughts that we read during this article?
Okay, I'm a little lost with this, but I agree with that. It's better to have most technology for the airports, because in an airplane can travel 100, 200 people, and you need to safeguard that person's.
Okay, we'll get to opinions in a second, but first I want to summarize the facts that we read in this article. Nader, can you help us and give us a couple more ideas that were talked about in the article?
Yes, I guess the main idea is the privacy issue with using the technology of the 3D image scanning, because people, especially women, are feeling embarrassed when they are going through this technology, and some people are still defending, especially those security authorities. For sure, they will defend this idea. So there is a debate here between the authorities and the people who are suffering from this new technology.
Exactly. Thanks. Anna, anything else you can add to our summarization of the article?
Yes, the article speak about the latest technology, like body scanners, which I can see, or they can see through clothing. With this equipment, they can see what people can hide. For example, drugs, especially drugs. This new equipment will make airport safer. They want to install this kind of equipment in other countries because of his great function.
Exactly. All right. So we have a couple questions about the article, and then we're going to move on to some other opinion questions. But these first two are, what do you think of the new high-tech body scanners, and how would you feel to be scanned by someone that can see through your clothes? So imagine what it would be like to have someone look at your essentially naked body on a screen. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it might be spread to the internet, or is it safe? I want to know all of that. Let's start with Diego this time, since you already gave us a little opinion. What do you think of these body scanners, and would you feel a little embarrassed to be scanned yourself?
Okay, I think when the scanned the body, I think in the screen of the security officials never can see your body. I think they are see a black imagine because they try to detect any metal or any drugs with you with you have in, in your clothes or in your bag. But I think I don't feel bad because if I I will be scanned with this technology.
So you're not embarrassed about it?
No, absolutely.
Are you worried about the images reaching like the internet or anything like that?
I heard something about that, but I don't read all the all about the technology. But I think it's very important to scan the the travelers in the airport, but I think I'm not embarrassed about that.
All right. Excellent. Then Howard, can you give us your thoughts on the same thing? What do you think of the new high-tech body scanners, and how would you feel to be scanned?
I don't have any problem, but I am worried about the problem of the privacy that it's probably that you had been scanned, and maybe some months you can see your video on YouTube. That's a problem. It's very common to see some videos from public servers or from police officers taking videos and putting on YouTube. That is a problem. The public workers don't respect that.
All right, so you are okay with being scanned, but you think that there's a privacy problem with these scanners.
Yeah, that is the problem.
All right. Interesting thoughts. Mohammed, what do you think about all this? Answer these two questions.
Yes, I will accept that, and I will respect the safety procedures. That's all. But,
so you don't think there's a privacy problem with these scanners?
Yes, there is privacy problem. I think I should do that, and I respect that because that's for our safety and to be safe.
All right. Thanks for your thoughts, Mohammed. Anna, what do you think about these body scanners? Would you feel a little embarrassed?
Well, I think that when you don't carry anything on your body, it bothers you a lot. It's true. I don't know if it could be other procedures that can bother to people, but the most dangerous is when there are people who suffer from a hair disease, or for example, when a woman is pregnant. I don't know the effects that the scanner could have in their bodies.
All right. Yeah, that is a worry. And Nader, do you have any thoughts to add about the 3D body scanners and how you would feel to be scanned?
Yes, I'm totally against this technology. Any technology that violates privacy, I'm against it. And it will always be the case. They will monitor your telephone calls, they will monitor the internet, and they will tell you for your safety. So it will always be the case. Authorities are always trying to use new technologies that will allow them to know everything about you, or to see everything about you. But people who are interested in privacy will always be against any kind of technology that does not respect people's privacy.
All right.
So especially women, I will not be embarrassed to be scanned using this technology, but I understand that women will. It's very embarrassing, and I will not accept that my wife gets through this machine for sure. And they will also should have limits. They should not allow men to work on these machines, and they will not allow people to take screenshots or have save any videos or pictures for the people that are scanned.
Well said. And Hamza, are you there? Hamza, you're muted. You have to. Oh, there we go. Hi.
Hi.
It's good to meet you. I think this is the first time I've had you in class, right, Hamza?
Yeah, that's the first time.
Great. Where are you from?
I'm from Syria.
Excellent to have you with us today. So we're talking about airport security. What do you think of when you think of airport security?
I'm thinking sometimes they make it over when they start searching. You go inside the machines, you put everything on your bucket on the table, like they search you from your top to your toe.
Yeah.
But I think it's good because there is some bad people everywhere.
All right. I agree. I definitely appreciate the safety that airport security gives, but sometimes it seems like it's a little too much. Like it's just a lot of work and a lot of privacy invasions in order to keep that security. Difficult balance. So we're going to move on to a few more questions, and these ones we're going to respond to in writing, at least the first one. So let's do number 3. What are other uses you can think of for the 3D body scanner? So you guys can respond to that one in the chat box. Write me 1 or 2 sentences of other uses you can think of for this 3D body scanner. So like, you know, post office or any other places you think it might be useful to have. Take your time and write full sentences here.
Sorry, excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
4 sentences.
Full sentences, like express your ideas fully in a complete sentence, meaning use a verb and a subject, and maybe even an explanation of how or why it would be helpful.
Full sentences. And like you have to say like
All right, we've got one ready. They can be used in clothing industry to take accurate measures. Medical use in hospital are also an option. Excellent ideas, Nader. That's creative. I think you're right. The clothing industry would be an interesting place. Then you could get your exact measurements.
Like,
so, first off, it should be measurements. So I'd make that one change to your sentence, Nader. They can be used in the clothing industry, so add an article, to take accurate measurements. And then medical uses in hospitals with an S, are also an option. Thanks for your thoughts, Nader. The next one I see. It can be useful in medical center for people's health. Okay, so it looks like 4 has a slight misspelling and health has a slight misspelling. It should be TH.
Yes, it is inverse the letters.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's okay. Good thoughts though. So Anna, tell us how you think the 3D body scanner could be useful in medical situations. And Howard, I see you put something that says for diamond mining. Diamond should be singular because it's talking about diamond, the material, not specific diamonds. So for diamond mining facilities, this can avoid manual scanning. What do you mean by manual scanning? You mean of like mountains to see what kind of minerals there are?
No, when you are entering to a mine, you need to be excuse me. You need to be revised for private personnel in the entrance. Then you have a person touching your body. Maybe have some glasses to search in your mouth, maybe on your backside. That is embarrassing for a lot of people, but they need to work and they have to allow this.
All right. Interesting thoughts. And Hamza, you said train stations. Explain to us why you think the 3D body scanner would be useful for train stations.
To search everybody, we have the witnesses, like in Russia, some explosions with the people who went to the train station.
Excellent idea.
Like incident happened to 2009 in Moscow.
Wow, yeah, there are a lot of incidences like that. Some terrorist attacks for trains and other public transportation.
Yeah, I think it should be there also.
All right. And the next one I see is from Diego. They can be used in factories where there are secret materials in their production. Ooh, interesting. I would just change one thing about your sentence. I would change there is instead of has. And that's it. Otherwise, it looks good. So what kind of company would you be talking about? What kind of factory, Diego?
For example, I work in a company to development projects in the oil and gas companies, and in some projects the client have a material to use in your production to fabric I don't know, for example, bottles or any object which use plastic, yes, and in these companies is this product is your know your know-how or your principal material to use in is property in this company. And for example, if you have the formula of Coca-Cola, you can send or buy to other company, and this is a secret in these companies. I think the employees to works in these companies have the trade secret to in these materials or in these formulas, whatever. I think the companies try to hide around the world the principal component to the produce in your companies.
Interesting, yeah. I could see that being useful then. And I see one more thought. Sports coaches can also track the weight and shape of their players. Shops may use it to fight shoplifting. No privacy at all. Ooh, yeah. Those are really creative ways to use the machine, Nader. I like those. And no errors there in grammar. Does anyone else have other thoughts before we move on to the next question? All right, so the next one is a little more theoretical. And I want to know, do you think air travel will ever be totally free from terrorist attack? And again, this one is going to be written. So write your thoughts in one of the chat boxes. Try to write 1 or 2 sentences. Write complete sentences. So do you think air travel will ever be totally free from terrorist attack?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah, question.
I don't know. I have my opinion about this subject, but I don't know what kind of sentences I could write.
Well, anything that you can say, you can write. So just give me exactly what you would say, but put it in the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
I see a thought from Mohammed, but I'm not sure I understand. If there are no terrorists, so there is no safety. What do you mean? Usually terrorists are the opposite of safety, right?
I mean, it's if there is not terrorists, they will think to new technology of safety. So we should the terrorists and the safety. I mean, the two things related to us to each other. You should it should be safety and
So I guess what you mean is if there are no terrorists, then there is safety, right?
yes, but no. I mean, if there is no terrorists, the government and the will not think about safety.
Okay.
Or new technology of safety.
All right. Next up, I see a thought from Nader. No, actually, a terrorist does not need any weapon to threaten the life of passengers or air flight attendants. He or she may use his or her bare hands to suffocate or break anyone's neck. Whoa, Nader, interesting. So no matter how much security we have, there's still no way to ensure safety and no way to really make terrorist attacks something impossible. Interesting thoughts. You did a very nice job of explaining yourself, and I don't see any mistakes in your response there. Thanks. The next one I see says, I don't think air travel will ever be totally free from terrorist attack. Because the problem is, not to carry a terrorist inside, you need to handle with a lot of ways can the terrorist use for attack. Excellent thoughts. So let me rephrase a little bit. The end gets a little bit disorganized. So because the problem is not to carry a terrorist inside, you need to handle all the ways that a terrorist uses for attack, or lots of the ways. So I'll say lots of the to attack. Okay, so just a little organization makes your thoughts a little more clear, but yeah, I like it. You kind of had a similar idea to Nader, which is that it's just too impossible to think of every single way that a terrorist might use.
Yeah.
Difficult. All right, the next one I see. I don't understand why terrorists can get on the airplane with bombs and guns when they have to pass through security personnel and body scanners. All right, so you think that it's possible to eliminate terrorism, Anna?
I don't think so, but I don't know the best way what could be because more often can suspect this kind of things. In this case, I don't understand how I said in my sentence why a terrorist could pass a body scanners where carry they your guns or bombs that the personal security personnel can't see it.
Yeah, it is pretty tough. They do a lot of work in order to bypass all these security methods. And the word I think you were looking for in your sentence is personnel, which is a noun, instead of personal, which the word you write is actually an adjective. So change, in your sentence, change security personnel to security personnel, which is the people, right? The people that handle security.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. And next one I see is from Diego. The terrorist attack try to infuse panic in the people no matter where it is. Always we are exposed. Yeah, so you don't think there's any way to get rid of terrorist attacks, Diego?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat?
Yeah, it sounds like you think it's impossible to get rid of terrorist attacks, right?
Yes, it's true.
Okay. And I have a couple corrections. So first we need a to before the word infuse, so it becomes the terrorist attack. The terrorist attack tries to infuse panic in the people no matter where it is. So switch is in it.
Okay.
And we are always exposed. So just a little organization there.
Yes, thanks.
All right, thanks, Diego.
Okay.
And yes, they may take acids in bottles of water. I don't want to share some creative ideas here. Yeah, that's true. And in fact, a lot of places, they don't allow liquids anymore. I know the U.S. has a big thing with liquids. They don't allow any liquids on planes unless it's under, I think, 2 ounces. So it has to be a really, really small amount. And yeah, every place, I think, has their own restrictions. But that's interesting. Okay, and there's a new student here whose name isn't actually showing up for me. Can anyone see the name of the new student whose picture is in front of water and a blue sky? No one can see his name? Oh, that's oh yeah. Huh, it's Hamza. You're right. Sorry, he had his other picture up. All right. So Hamza, you've been actually very quiet. Do you have any ideas to share about terrorist attacks in air travel?
I don't know why they want to fly to in the middle of the sky and they want to expose the people.
Yeah, it's sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, seriously. Some person flying between the sky and the air. What do you want from him?
Do you think there's ever going to be a way to stop all terrorist attacks?
I suppose that's going to happen. With the new technology, yes. Definitely.
All right. Thanks for all your ideas, guys. We've got one more question here, and this one we'll respond to verbally. So I'll go around and ask everyone. And it's number 5. What do you think of the current security procedure of metal detectors and being frisked by security officials? So do you guys think that it's enough, that it's already safe and everyone can just stay safe this way, or do you think changes need to be made? And I'm going to start on the left with Anna. What do you think, Anna? Do you think the current security level is sufficient in your experience?
Sorry, I don't understand completely the question.
So, what do you think of security procedure right now that we go through, like metal detectors and being frisked, which is where they pat you down? It's where they touch all your clothes to make sure that you don't have anything hidden underneath?
Well, I think is correctly, but the only problem could be that when they have to frisk a woman, the security officials have to be female officials.
Yeah, so that we might run into the same problem as we did with the body scanners, right? It's a little embarrassing in that case.
Yes.
How about you, Diego? Do you think the current procedures are enough and that we're pretty safe, or do you think there should be some changes made?
Well, I think that the actually procedures uh, it's a good to implement in the airport, uh, but nowadays the terrorism and narcotraffic find or search new ideas to override this security. So
Okay.
so I think the security or the safety officials try to find new procedures to avoid uh, to avoid to to pass any elements uh, or drugs or bombs in your airports or inside in your countries.
Exactly. So things are always changing.
Yeah, I think.
All right. Howard, what do you think? Do you think that the current procedures are enough, or should we make some changes to the security systems?
Now they are enough because all the days you can hear on the news that the people is still trafficking with the drugs. They are still boarding the planes with the guns, with knives. That is not enough with the metal detectors, the 3D scanners. You have to be more. They have to be more strict with that supervision to take the goal for no traffic or terrorist attacks.
All right. Thanks for your thoughts, Diego. And Mohammed, what do you think? Do you think similarly to Diego? Or sorry, yeah, Diego.
Yeah.
Sorry, Howard, not Diego.
I want all airports have the same technology because it's possible some tourists come from the poor country. They doesn't have the same technology or high technology.
So you think it depends on the country, that some places it's enough and some places it's not enough?
Yes.
And what do you think about where you live? Do you think the security is enough there?
Yes, in Kuwait it's enough.
Then what might be an example of a country where there's not enough security?
I don't know.
Okay. So maybe countries with less money to finance these things.
Yes.
All right. Nader, what do you think? Is there enough security in your experience?
I guess it's very difficult to have enough security or enough security procedures. So I guess because if you have metal detectors, as we said, we don't need the weapons to. The terrorists do not need weapons. So I guess the most important place to have security guards and officers is the plane itself. So if you have trained officers on the plane, and if you have security measures on the plane, like sleep inducing gas, which can be like the pilot has a button which he can release sleep inducing gas, or
interesting, like secret weapons.
Yes, and those now it's not available, this kind of technology, but every plane has trained officers. They are pretending to be passengers, and they are they are sitting on the plane in different places, so they should be able to fight any group of terrorists on the plane. They are supposed to be able.
007.
Sorry?
Sounds very 007, like James Bond, secret weapons and secret agents and.
See, the secret agents is already in place on planes if you don't know. But these buttons and this technology is not available.
So we need to continue to improve our security on airplanes and in airports.
Yes, more on the plane itself, I guess. It's more important because it's very difficult to prevent every tourist to go to the plane itself. But if you have them there, at least you should be able to deal with them.
All right. Any other thoughts on airport security and how we could improve it, or if it's too much? Anything else you guys want to share? So that's it for today, but I have another class coming up in 4 minutes, and it's about food. It's about American food and some of the different ideas people have about American food. If you guys want to join, then I would love to see you there, and if not, I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you.